everyone, welcome to a new video. If you're new around here, hello, welcome, come and join us. I make all kinds of different videos on this channel, but today I'm going to be talking about my clothing business, Threads of a Fairy Tale. I thought you might like to see behind the scenes of a photo shoot because that's what we're doing today. I've got 3 new dresses that I've made and I need to do the photographs so I can list them on my Etsy shop, which is called Threads of a Fairy Tale. So here are the 3 dresses. This is a winter fairy tale dress. There's so many of them are quite summery, but this one I thought would be good to do like one for a winter ball. So we've got nice fuzzy bits at the cuffs and around the neckline, and it's this length, it's all raggedy and Cinderella-y. This is outfit number 2. We've got a lilac rag, and again these are all a very sort of raggedy style, sort of apocalyptic fairy if you like, all in different shades of lilac. And lastly, this one's heavy, there's a lot of fabric in this one. We've got a peach and black one and it looks like this. There we are. This goes around the back and then the back is black like that. So my eldest daughter Rain will be modelling for me today. My kids get roped into this but we don't charge them rent, so that makes up for it. So she's busy getting makeup on while I'm packing these up and sorting out props and just planning in my head what the look it is I'm going for. We're off to an abandoned farmhouse. We went and scoped it out a year ago, so I hope it hasn't changed too much since then. Yeah, because I thought it would go quite well with the Cinderella look, have her sort of sweeping up. Yeah, so I just sort of need to think through the sort of concepts and the ideas. So I'm going to be taking an old-fashioned broom and maybe even a pumpkin for a couple of the dresses, maybe the peachy one and the pink and black one to give a real Cinderella-y feel to it. The lilac one I think I will go more sort of old school fairy, and we've got a purple hydrangea fake flower and some purple blossom, so I think I'll sort those out for the props for that one. Well, we're in the location, we're in this falling down house. Since we were last here, a hell of a lot more has come down, so we decided it probably wasn't a good idea to go upstairs because, well, that's the upstairs. So I've just sorted out all the tangles that were on the skirt part of the dress. Chris is setting up his settings. Are you all ready?
So. And
I think I'm out the way here. I've got the flash here. So we are ready to go. Oh, except I haven't swapped your shoes over.
Oh yeah.
Sun's come out. Oh, where you're standing looks really nice.
What's been your favourite thing? What do you think I should sort of work more things around?
Yeah, I like the ones where you're holding it. Giving yourself something to do with your hands is good, like holding onto the skirt. Yeah, hands on the top bit, and so as we get a variety, so we can show it.
Come about a bit that way as well.
Let me move this bit of wood out of this chimney then. And then like drop one side and put that, yeah, and then look at your hand, yeah. And then just sort of start turning. It's difficult to move quickly on this sort of surface, isn't it? Oh yeah, that looks good. Put your feet slightly closer together. Right, shall we give her the broom now for a Halloween-y one? To another room. This is like, well, this is the front room, I suppose. Thought we may as well use the fireplace we can actually get to. The floor is mainly clear in here, which makes it a lot easier. When you look at that room there, you just can't get anywhere near the floor. Yeah, Ray's doing a really good job of modelling this one. We went with the flower crown and a necklace, both that I've made for when I've done festivals and wanted smaller items to sell. So I've made those, I made those a while ago. I thought they worked quite well with the outfit. I'm sort of thinking Cinderella, that's why I've brought the pumpkin and the broom along. lift the skirt up as much as it will go. Like, yeah, so people can see quite how much fabric goes in.
Okay.
Just one, it looks a bit too, yeah. And relax it a little bit so it's not stretched. Yeah. And sort of swish it a bit as well. Oh, thank you. Okay, we've probably got that one then. So we've come outside for the last shoot because it's more of a flower fairy. I thought the lilac would stand out really nicely against all the ivy. Where the ivy's trailing down the wall there is really quite fairy-tale-y, so we've bought those flowers that I mentioned for her to hold. The light is really nicely diffused. It's cloudy but not too dark, so it's really quite good light actually for portrait photography today. So, and hopefully she's not squinting.
I've got my glasses on. To me, I might it like this, but
squinting's always a problem in harsh light. So, yeah, this is just right. So we have put the flashes away. We're not using those now. So yeah, if you could do like just maybe some more like ballet turns, like turn and then hold and try and give you hold the skirt, so we can try and get some swishiness in the skirt. We've probably got it, do you reckon? So we're just packing everything up. Rain's gathered everything in her arms. We're off now. We're going back home and I'll probably spend the rest of the day editing the photos. So I hope you enjoyed seeing this little sneak peek behind the scenes of a fashion photo shoot. I've just put on the screen the address of my Etsy shop where you'll see these clothes for sale and the other things that I've made for Threads of a Fairy Tale. So I'm obviously back at home and I thought you might like to see a very quick look into what happens next after the photos are done. So here they are on Lightroom. So that was the first set. That was obviously a mistake with the flash there. Keep scrolling, keep scrolling. It's a good idea to have a lot of pictures, but I do sometimes wonder if we take a few too many. They take a long time to go through. What I do is I sit in the evenings and I go through and I star my favourite ones. So yeah, so that one and that one got 4 stars. 3 stars are ones I like but perhaps need a little bit more work in editing. So I'll often do that in the evenings while we're watching telly on my laptop in bed, and then the next day I'll come down and I'll have a look at them properly on this big screen, and then I can look at them a bit more closely and judge which ones are the best photographs to use on my actual listing and which ones, you know, that are really good but perhaps there's bit of photoshopping that needs doing in the background or something like that. So my editing process, Chris is a really good photographer actually, and I don't need to do a lot of editing. I'll find an example. Here we are. So as you can see straight away, this one here is brighter than the others. It was a really dark room and obviously Chris wants to make sure he gets all the detail and that it isn't lost by having a flash that's too bright. So quite often the best thing to do with photography is know that you're just going to brighten it up later, but at least you've got the opportunity not to lose out on some of the details. Now I've opened it up to edit. So I'll give you a little close-up look at my edit box on the right here. Pretty much left all of this alone and just lifted the exposure and pulled down the highlights, and that's literally all I did for this photograph. So there you go, that's a little example. Let me just check my history just to check I didn't do anything else. Yeah, highlights, exposure, crop, rectangle. Also I've cropped it in a little bit and that's literally all I did. Here's another one. As you can see, I gave this one 5 stars, and it's because Rain has a lovely expression on her face, and it's important that I show all the angles on my listings, because obviously people need to be able to see the whole dress from all angles. So this one is a good one for showing the left hand side of it. and again I'll go to develop and see what I did in my history. Okay, so for this one I did slightly more on this one. I cropped it, I lifted the exposure, lifted the shadows, dropped the highlights and did a slight dehaze. I'll give you a quick reset. So that's what it was originally. And now I'll show you my Etsy page. So a bit like Instagram, I do try and make sure that my grid on my front page is sort of balanced with evenly spaced matching colours, aren't next to each other or on top of each other, and particular designs such as the hip belt here, that you don't get them next to each other or on top of each other. So it's slotting in the each dress like subtly so it fits in quite well. I chose this one for the front, for the main picture. It might not have been my first choice actually, but they crop them so small now for the thumbnails that other people see when you're searching for a particular item. Chris couldn't really get any further away to include more of the outer surrounding space around Rain, so this was the best option for my main picture, even though perhaps it's probably not my favourite of the lot because her face isn't up. Sometimes it's nice to get that sort of connection with the model in the pictures, but it's still a nice shot. I really like that one. It was such a good location and it turned out so much better on the photographs than actually it looked in real life. I was worried it was going to be a bit too messy on the floor, but actually it did work out fine. So yeah, in a listing I do a quick one-line description, so that will come up on my Google searches. Then I do a sentence which is like a very mini fairy tale story in one line. I just like that to fit in with my brand being part of a fairy tale. And then I describe the materials, obviously give the measurements in detail so that people can work out whether the dress is actually going to fit them, and then give a series of ideas for how people might like to wear the dress. And then after that it's just the admin-y bits. There we go. So there we are, there's a little behind the scenes look at the full process, not just the photo shoot, but getting it up on Etsy as well. And hopefully that's a bit helpful if you're interested in selling things on Etsy, or Folksy is the other main popular one. So I hope you found this interesting, and if you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up and share with your friends. And if you're new here, please subscribe. I'd love to see you again, and thanks for watching. Bye.